Hola todos, and good morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever time it is that you're watching or listening to this, I should say, watching and listening. I am going to show you an idea for doing dictado. Probably any grade could use this, but I teach first grade, so I'll give you an example of what I did for first grade. And I used this document, actually before e-learning, I would use it on I used my haiku page, and I had my haiku page set up by unit and week. And then students had access to certain things for center time or independent work. So as the year went on, I utilized this document and embedded it on my haiku page. And I can show you an example. This is how it looked sometimes on my haiku page. Like this week, my students were working on klakli kliklo klu. And I created a dictado that included sílabas de la semana y las destrezas de la semana como des, el prefijo des. So desagradable y despeinado. I'm trying to remember if there was anything else. This week might have also been a practice on the skill of two sentences, so ending with a period and then beginning another sentence, el punto enseguido, creo que se llama en maravillas. So this is just one example. Sometimes I put in videos that represented what was happening in the sentence so that students who speak Spanish as their second language, so maybe they only speak English at home or Polish at home or any other language at home other than Spanish, I would give them a video, or in this case, pictures to represent desagradable and y despeinado. And I found the arrows pointing helped. People are way more creative than I am, so there are probably lots of ideas that you all could think of besides what I'm just showing you here. Again, this is embedded onto my haiku page. So this is something that maybe you'll find helpful during our remote learning that we're going to be doing first quarter. This is a dictado that came from quarter 3, week 24. So as you can see, it's not a very long dictado. It kind of depends on your class, right? It depends who you're working with. In our situation, starting the beginning of the year, I would say one fairly simple sentence for first grade would be a good beginning. In this case, I was working with a middle level class. So for some students, this was a little difficult, and this was right on the spot for what they needed. And I would say I even had some students who could have done more than this. So it just depends on your class, you decide. And since we'll be remote learning, you might even be able to have 2 or 3 different dictados for your students, depending on their needs. So this little video clip here is actually just me reading it. Oh, so I don't know if you can actually hear that in this screencast. I'm using Screencastify. But I'm just simply reading the dictado. You could make the video bigger if you wanted to, so that they can actually see it, but I mean, they can see it right here, so I didn't feel that was necessary. And then I used papel cuadrado when we were in class writing it together so that each letter or each box represented where they would write a letter. The green line, or the gray line, not green, the gray line was to skip a line to teach them how to skip. The first 2 boxes for me were always la sangria, so I would have them go 2 X's. Oh, and it looks like my video is about to end in 25 seconds because now I have limited use with Screencastify. So just know that Screencastify only lasts for a few minutes, the free version. So I will continue to show you in another video really quickly how I make the slides. This is just a representation of how it looked for the students, and then they would type it. So in class, they would get out their paper, they would write, and then online they would type.